Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your girl Ty. Today is Thursday, July 9th, and this is yesterday's news. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has become the latest entity to have to change plans for its programming due to COVID-19. The organization announced yesterday that while it had planned on hosting a live induction ceremony this year, it will instead be recognizing the class of 2020 with a special set to air on HBO on November 7th, which should give them plenty of time to come up with something really cool and creative for these honorees. Of course, this year's class of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame honorees includes T-Rex, Depeche Mode, the Doobie Brothers, 9 Inch Nails, Whitney Houston, and the Notorious B.I.G. And John Landau and Irving Azoff are going to be receiving the Amit Erdogan Award, which recognizes not musicians, but anybody in the music industry who has had an impact on rock and roll. So whether they be songwriters, producers, DJs, journalists, execs, etc. So kudos to those folks. And again, that will be happening on HBO on November 7th. Showtime is reportedly working on a limited series about the life of Lena Horne. It's currently titled Blackbird, Lena Horne in America, and it's being co-written by Lena Horne's granddaughter and renowned screenwriter Jenny Lumet. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name wrong. The series will span 60 years of Lena's life. It will start on when she was 16, dancing at the Cotton Club. It will follow her life through her rise to movie stardom at MGM Studios, and it will also include her evolution into activism with the civil rights movement, as well as her return to theater acting and Broadway later on in life. And it will examine her relationships with some key figures like Joe Louis, Paul Robeson, Billie Holiday, Count Basie, Hattie McDaniel, and Orson Welles. So I will keep you guys posted on that once it has a date. It's really cool that her granddaughter is involved with the script, and she's saying how basically Lena Horne passed on so many stories to her mom, and now the mom has passed those on to Jenny, and she gets to bring them to us. So that's really, really cool. And reminds me to remind you guys to talk to your elders, because they got stories, yo. They got things that should be documented and shared. The show Batwoman on the CW find itself in a bit of a quandary at the beginning of this year. I think towards the end of their season, the lead actress Ruby Rose decided that she did not want to return to the series. So now the network has announced that Batwoman will be played by Javicia Leslie, who is an up-and-coming actress. Originally from Germany, she's been in a few things, a few TV series and movies since 2016, and she becomes the first Black woman to portray Batwoman on television. Rather than to recast the show's lead, so keeping the same character with a new actress, what they've done is actually created a whole brand new character named Ryan Wilder, who will now take over the responsibilities as Batwoman. And she is an out lesbian. She's a kid who was, like a street kid, drug runner, living in her car when the series picks up her story. So it'll be really interesting to see kind of like a like a anti-hero becoming a superhero type of deal. HBO has released the trailer for Kid Cudi's latest cinematic project, a show called We Are Who We Are, which is a coming-of-age story about two American kids living with their families on a military base in Italy. And you guys, Cudi actually plays the father of one of the main characters. We are that old, you guys. So in the show, his daughter Caitlin is a kid who's been living in Italy for quite some time. She speaks Italian. She's kind of like the centerpiece of her friend group. And then there's another young man named Fraser who moves over to this base in Veneto, Italy with his family from New York City. His family consists of himself and his two mothers, and so it kind of follows the two of them through their friendship. The show is set to premiere in September, though we don't have an exact date just yet. And then according to Cudi's real life daughter, he is dropping a new song on Friday with Eminem. This is an announcement that she made on her dad's IG page yesterday, which was super cute. So kudos to Cudi being out here and active and stuff. That makes 3 TV shows for him, by the way, because he has a show that he's directing for Netflix. He has this HBO joint that he's doing, and then he also has the Kids See Ghosts project that he's doing with Kanye at some point. So shouts to Kid Cudi. And you may have heard this yesterday, because I think a lot of people were talking about it, but they are rebooting the Wonder Years with a Black family. The concept actually really is not bad. If they just would have called it something else, if they wouldn't have said it was a reboot of the Wonder Years, because saying it's a reboot just kind of makes it seem like another one of these efforts that white folks are doing to kind of pander to black people and give us everything except for the things that we actually asked for, like police reform and, the end to systemic racism. But in any case, this new series follows a middle-class black family in Montgomery, Alabama in the late 60s at the height of the civil rights movement. So it follows the same kind of timeline as the original Wonder Years, which took place between 1968 and 1973. And again, it sounds like an amazing perspective. It's something I don't think we've ever seen in terms of it being a middle-class black family in the South during segregation. But it is a reboot. And Lee Daniels is executive producing, as well as Fred Savage, who will also direct the pilot. And then they have one of the show's original creators, Neil Marlins, as a consultant. So at least it'll be, it's being done by people who were involved with the first show. But I just wish they would have called it something else. All right, you guys, Future has announced a scholarship for incoming college freshmen through his nonprofit, the Free Wishes Foundation. That's a nonprofit that he runs with his mom and his sister. It's called the I'm Still a Dreamer Georgia COVID-19 Scholarship, and it will award a maximum of $2,500 to multiple recipients who have been personally affected by the pandemic and by the virus. Applicants must already have been accepted to an accredited college for enrollment in the fall semester, fall 2020. They have to reside in the state of Georgia and have a minimum GPA of 3.0. So kudos to him. Good luck to the kids. If you are a parent that's looking for ways to support your kids' dreams right now, because, we don't know, a lot of people don't know when we're going back to work, definitely something to check out. And lastly, one thing that I missed earlier this week that I thought was really dope, so I wanted to share it with you guys. HBO Max just picked up 12 episodes of a new animated series called Young Love, which is a spinoff of Matthew Cherry's Oscar-winning short Hair Love. So it picks up the story of the mom and dad and the kid, Zuri, from the short film. And this is a completely separate project from the deal that he inked with Warner Brothers Television earlier this year, even though Warner Brothers and HBO are all owned by the same, conglomerate. But he's actually going to be working on this docu-series with one of the writers from the Boondocks. So this should be pretty cool to watch. That's going to do it for me, you guys, today. Make sure you like, comment, and share, and come back tomorrow for today's news.